cybersecurity on the continent. Please join us again. Welcome to our Africa Tech segment. Authorities in 7 African countries have arrested 306 suspects and seized over 1,800 devices in a major international crackdown on cyber-enabled scams. Between November 2024 and February 2025, Operation Red Card targeted cross-border fraud networks exploiting mobile banking, investment platforms and messaging apps, with more than 5,000 victims identified. In Nigeria, where a majority of the arrests took place, police arrested 130 people, including 113 foreign nationals, for online scams and investment fraud. Authorities suspect some workers were trafficked and forced into cybercrime seizures, included 26 vehicles, 16 houses and 685 devices. Well, authorities also arrested many people in South Africa, Zambia and Rwanda. Other participating countries were Benin, Cote d'Ivoire and Togo, with officials stressing that ongoing collaboration is essential to combat the growing threat of cyber fraud in Africa. Well, joining us now for more discussions on this and how we can keep ourselves safe online is Uche Onyekpe, cybersecurity specialist. He joins us from Ontario, Canada. Thank you for joining us on Africa Tech.
Thanks for having me.
Well, what does this Operation Red Card now reveal about cyber-enabled scams in Africa, especially in countries like Nigeria, South Africa and Zambia?
Absolutely. The Operations Red Card has showed us something really deep and worrisome. It is only revealing that cybercrime in Africa is no longer just an internet fraud. It has now become a full-blown industry. The syndicate that runs now like startups, like actual 9-to-5s, where they have job titles, they have job roles, they run shifts, and even onboarding programs. Now you can see in places like Nigeria, South Africa, Zambia, the boys are moving from Gmail scams now and Yahoo scams to actual fake crypto platforms and real investment platforms with the whole social media strategies around it. So it's pretty much an organized syndicate, it's an organized crime. And let's be real, the poverty in these communities is really a major contributing factor to what is going on today. You can imagine a guy who barely finished secondary school today is suddenly pulling up with a Mercedes-Benz, holding an iPhone 15 Pro Max, and chilling with what would call the big girls. So it has become a local. He becomes a local legend, and he becomes celebrated amongst his peers. So we now hear of Yahoo incubator. So it's actually an organized incubating program, and we see parents actually sending their children and sponsoring them to go learn some of these internet crimes. So really, it's a major issue. It's one that is worrisome, and it's one that needs to be tackled really from basically an organized point of view.
Well, here in Nigeria, we saw that 113 foreign nationals were arrested and, amid reports of trafficking. And it's quite clear from what you've said, it's quite prevalent, the link between human trafficking and these cybercrime syndicates in Africa. This Operation Red Card also identified over 5,000 victims identified. So it's possible that there are other victims that are not known. How can individuals, keep themselves safe online to not fall prey to this kind of thing?
Yeah, I think the truth is we now have a situation where these crimes are becoming, we are moving from actually trafficking human beings for labor, for housework, to trafficking them for cyber crimes. And, you see a situation where a young guy is pulled into something he knows nothing about. He goes into a compound somewhere and he's found himself running a romance scam with 50 other people. So it's basically a digital shop now, a bootcamp with no exit strategy. And like I said before, crime has majorly contributed to this. And one of the ways that we can protect ourselves really is by having this firewall amongst us, right? Seeing ourselves as a digital protector. For instance, doubling our income and learning these technical skills within ourselves. So being digitally aware, it's not really something that has to do with you learning a technical skill. It's something that we need to see as part of us, right? We need to be very wary of emails that we receive, of links that we click on our phones, of messages that we receive on our phones, and ensure that we're asking questions. We are taking a second look at whatever it is that we receive on our cell phones, because really, the entry point is your digital devices, right? And then our value systems. We need to consciously begin to change our value systems, and that demands us going really to the root of this problem, to begin to talk to the younger ones from a very early age on the need to learn some of these skills, not just to use them for negative reasons, but to understand that these skills are something that they would need to better their lives, so that when they grow up, they don't use the skills the wrong way into learning internet fraud, but they can actually use these skills to pick up high-paying jobs. They can become freelancers on platforms like Upwork, lots of them, freelancing.io, Fiverr, and make money for themselves. So, I say it all the time that learning a tech skill today can be likened to, becoming a mechanic. If you become a mechanic, you have a skill that puts food on your table for the rest of your life. And that's the way we should approach learning tech skills. It's as a continent, we have the people, we have the intelligence, we have smart dudes, and we need to begin to change our value system to make children understand that we can use these skills for something better versus using it for cyber crimes.
All right then, Uche Oyenepe, cybersecurity specialist. Thank you for joining us on Network Africa.
Thank you.
And finally, on the program, volunteers in South Africa are providing purified water to fasting Muslims in Johannesburg, and it's amid an escalating water crisis. It's Ramadan relief for many of the people benefiting from this service.